I have been wanting to make a sheath for my Gerber axe for quite some time, and I'm finally going to get around to it. I like this little axe because it's short, it's light enough to attach to your pack, and you don't feel like you're taking a big honking axe with you, but it's still heavy enough, and it's got this wedge shape, you know, to where you could actually do some chopping and splitting with it. So I think it's a perfect little axe. And it's not that expensive. The one thing I didn't like about it was the sheath that came with it. You know, it was a lot of Velcro, and I never have really trusted Velcro for attaching things to my pack. I really want a buckle or something that's I consider a positive connection. I had to wet this leather to get it to flatten out. I made the mistake of rolling it up while I was storing it, and so that's a mistake. It really should be stored flat. What I'm going to do now is try to just rough out the basic shape. I just discovered a neat trick. This table is one of these resin tables, and if I dig my blade into the table first and just hold it, I can then just guide it. Let's see if I can show you without getting my hand in the way. Okay, so there's my two halves, except I screwed up, didn't I? Dadgummit. They're supposed to be son of a gun. I made two halves of the same type. Okay, don't make the same mistake I did. I cut two halves exactly the same. So in other words, the smooth side of the leather wouldn't be on the outside on both sides. So you want to make sure when you cut your second piece, you know, that it's going to make the smooth side be out, not in. It's no big deal. I've got plenty of leather, but if you're working with a small amount of leather, you know, or with scraps, you might want to double check that, or you may find yourself running back to the leather store. But in this case, it turns out to be a blessing in disguise, because I'm going to cut my welt from this extra piece which I would have had to do anyway. I probably wouldn't have gone through this elaborate measure, but since I've made the mistake, I'll go ahead and use this and cut it out. Here's my next piece. I had to wet again to get it to flatten out. So what I want to do is put these together, you know, finish side out. This is starting to dry out already. That's why it's lighter colored. So I want to put the two rough sides together and then mark it, so I don't make that same mistake again. That is pretty cut. Okay, so here's my welt, and this little notch right here will kind of hook the hatchet in. I don't know, this is going to be kind of difficult. This hatchet's pretty thick, so it's going to be interesting trying to get all this glued up. As a matter of fact, what I may do is just glue this side first and then come back and glue this one to it. I think that's what I'm going to do. So what I have here is my contact cement made for leather. Got this at Tandy Leather Factory. Okay, we just have to let that dry. Okay, one of the things I could be doing while this is drying is attaching my strap on the back here for my MOLLE system. So this seems to be a little bit long. I might want to shorten this a little bit. That's probably more like it. So what I'm going to do is attach it at both ends, but leave it so that strapping can go, you know, underneath it like this. If I want to, I can also run a loop through here for a belt loop. So those are my two glue zones. Because all I need is about 2 inches in the middle to run, say, a couple of MOLLE straps through, some webbing. Let those get sort of dry and then I'll attach them. Okay, these are tacky now. That worked out good. I dropped it, but it worked out to go in the right place. So now I'm just going to clamp these down. Okay, this is all dry. What I'm I'm trying to do is come up with a way to strap this baby on, which would be something like this. So I'll know where to glue. It's really funny how easy it is to make a mistake when you're trying to video something. You know, you're worried about keeping your hands out of the way so people can see, and keeping everything just right and focus and all that. And I almost blocked my webbing opening. So what I had to do is I actually had to change the angle of this strap. Put it like that now, which is no big deal, really. What I think I've decided to do is go ahead and put a snap. I actually put 2 snaps on here just to secure this. Okay, so I think about right there, and maybe right there. Okay, so I had to move
my operation here to the corner of the table where there's a support under this table just to get this backed up good enough to do these rivets. Basically what you have here, I slid the 2 backs on for the snaps, and I'm sliding the snap part over that. You want to get over something very sturdy, so I'm over the leg of the table here. I'm actually going to use the hatchet to hammer these things. I'm not sure that's going to be strong enough.
Went to take them out in the shop and do them. Okay, I got the snaps on finally. I had troubles with this one. But anyway, finally got it to work out. So those 2 snaps will go right there. Like that. That should hold it pretty secure. So now what I have to do is go back to here and stitch this stuff, you know, before I glue it the other half on. Okay, so I'm just going to go around this a couple of times just to reinforce that. And I'm going to do that on all 3 of these. Okay, I thought I'd just give you a close-up of the stitching. I went ahead and put a little X stitch in there too, a little cross stitch, just to add some more stitching and to kind of give it a decorative effect. So we can finally put these 2 halves together.